Okay, so in this part of the lesson, you are going to be creating your own mandala. And we're just going to create a basic one to start off with. Remember that it is a piece of abstract design that is usually in a circular form. So that's what we're going to do. And it's going to have some geometric and organic forms. And yours are going to have both. So we're going to start off by creating a new file. And we're going to set up our space first. So I'm going to start with 11 by 8.5. That's going to make it landscape. Okay, it's just paper size. We are going to get the polygon tool. And if I click on the polygon tool, it is going to ask me how many sides. Well, I want to actually make a 12-sided polygon. And I want the radius. I don't actually remember what I want the radius, so I'm going to type in 3 inches. And that's a little small, so I'm going to do that one more time. And let me see, 4.5. Let's see if that's maybe a little too big. Okay, one more time. We'll just go with 4. All right, and then I'm going to use my Align panel to align it to the artboard, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to open my Layers panel so that I can see where everything is here. Okay, now if your polygon happens to not have a flat edge at the top, go ahead and rotate it a little bit so that you do have that flat edge at the top. I am going to now use my line tool, and I need to make no fill and a black stroke. And I am going to see how this says anchor right there, and Illustrator helps you find where you have anchors and such. I am going to draw a straight line that's going to divide this polygon in half from this anchor. And if I hold down my Shift key, it should go straight through that other one. Now, notice how I went ahead and moved this to where it was overlapping. I need it to overlap a little bit on both sides. I'm also going to want to zoom in so that I can ensure, that it's in the right place on both sides. And you want to do that from the beginning, otherwise you're going to have trouble. Okay? Now, I'm going to select this one line, and I'm going to choose Object, Transform, Rotate. And if you recall, we have 12 sides. So if how many degrees are in a full circle? We know there's 360. So 360 divided by 12 leaves us with 30 degrees. And then I'm going to choose Copy. And then you should be able to Control D to continue placing those lines all around your polygon. Okay? Again, it's in your best interest before you go any further to zoom in a little bit and just double check and make sure that they are indeed over those anchor points at the edges, and that they make sure that they are overlapping outside of the polygon. Okay, so now we need our Pathfinder panel. Remember, if you don't have it visible, you need to go to the window menu to get it. I'm selecting all of my pieces here. Now, one might think that it would be a good idea to group, but group isn't going to do what we want. Okay, we want to use our Pathfinder, and we want to use divide. And where is my divide? I have to, there, I thought it was the first one. Okay, so it's the first one here. And if I click on it, what it does is it uses those lines, and it's basically, It's basically dividing them into little pie wedges. Okay? Now, in order for us to separate the pie edges, though, we now need to ungroup this. So I am going to choose Control Shift G or Object Ungroup. And now, when you click, you get individual ones. So I am going to delete all of these except for this top middle one. I'm going to keep that one. Okay? Now, once that's there, you need your symbols panel. And mine was not open, so I'm going to open it now. And I am simply going to drag this shape onto the panel. And when I do, I can then name it. And I'm just going to go ahead and name this pie piece. I'm going to make it a graphic. I'm going to make sure my registration is in the middle, and I'm going to click OK. Okay? Now, once this is a symbol, I want to make sure that you're aware of something. You can double-click in the symbol. You can also double-click on it from the stage and alter things. Okay? So if I, for instance, let's say I didn't want my pie piece to be a triangle. Let's say I wanted, I'm going to show rulers, and I'm going to drag a little guide over the center of this. And I am going to, and you don't have to do this. This is how I'm doing my design. I'm making an anchor point there in the center so that I can drag this, up just a little bit. That's the shape that I want. Okay? But now when I go back to my puzzle piece, and it's okay that it's out at the moment, it's something that I can fix later, but it's updated it here. Okay? Now, what I want to do, and this seems kind of counterintuitive since how we just got rid of all of those, the thing is all those other pieces were not symbols. Only this one is a symbol because we drug it in. So now what we want to do is we want to get our rotation tool. I want to hold my Alt key, and this is also, also a good time to zoom in, and I am going to Alt click right down here at the bottom of that pie piece. And actually you should have it selected first. Sorry. Now get your rotate. Alt click right there at the bottom. Then we're going to choose copy. And you can then Control D until your pie finishes your shape like this. Okay? So that's what you want. Now, you're going to go ahead and double click on this little pie piece here in this graphics library again, or symbol library. You should zoom in and show your ruler, which you can do from the View menu, View, Show Ruler, Control R, and from the left ruler, drag a guide so that it fits and splits your triangle or your pie piece in two pieces, a left and a right. So basically right down the middle. And what you are going to do is you are going to use your pencil tool, which is right here. And just use black. Okay, we're going to keep it all the trim black. And you are going to use organic and geometric shapes. I'll go ahead and pull this one out too with the pencil tool on one side, and then you'll duplicate it to where it goes to the other side. Now, I am creating a new sublayer just so that I can help keep track of things. And I do want to show you that let's say I'm going to start with some little lines, okay, which I can, of course, go ahead and resize if I need to make sure that they meet where I'm wanting, okay? But one thing that you haven't seen yet is the width tool. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this one out too. This is the width tool. And the width tool is kind of nice because you can change the width of a path at pretty much any point along that path. So you can make part of it skinny, part of it fat. Whoops. Okay, so that's the width tool. So again, you're going to use all of those to create your design on one half. Then you will select all of your design pieces and object, transform, reflect, and then move them into position on this side. I'm going to hit pause while I go ahead and work on that.